So the Bloody Mary dumplings, those were really conceived when we were prepping for our birthday brunch. So we gave ourselves we gave ourselves a birthday party for our first year in business. So we did a birthday brunch where we had, all of our friends and people that are supporters of Pinch and have been from the early days. We were like, we need a vegetarian option. What can we do? And brunch, Bloody Marys, it all kind of went together. I just kind of got to the kitchen, started testing, making stuff up. So we have, for our Bloody Mary dumpling, we've got lovely smoked tofu and some shiitake mushrooms that give it a nice kind of umami flavor. We've got celery in there, Tabasco, tomato paste, sun-dried tomatoes, all the things you need to make a delicious Bloody Mary, but we stuff it in a dumpling instead. For this dumpling, the only thing that can sometimes be tricky to get is the smoked tofu, especially if you need to get large quantities of it.
Celery, of course, being a key ingredient in Bloody Mary.
Definitely, and I love putting celery in dumplings because it's one of those vegetables that it really holds its shape and holds its crunchiness even when you cook it down. So it's nice to get it in there for a little bit of texture. So we use it in our buffalo chicken dumpling as well. Celery is one of those, a lot of vegetables you can put them in the food processor, but with celery, I really like to keep that shape and the crunchiness. So celery we pretty much always do by hand. Okay, let's cook. So with a lot of vegetarian dumplings, there's always going to be a lot of moisture in the vegetables. So it's really important that you kind of cook this out when you can, or you squeeze it out. You actually just salt cabbage, for example, and squeeze it, let it sit for 20 minutes, and then squeeze the moisture out. And like I said, you can also cook it out. So in here I have the mushrooms, which can carry quite a lot of moisture. Tofu and spring onion. So this just gives it a quick sort of dry out, if you will. It's also nice to do a little bit of salt with the mushrooms because that also helps kind of pull out the moisture. So now we throw in the bulk of this dumpling, which is a lot of celery, cabbage, sun-dried tomatoes. We'll do the same. We'll cook this down a little bit. Just kind of get it mixed in there. So after this cooks for a few minutes, we'll throw in the sauces, which give this really its kick. For Bloody Mary, if you've ever had a Bloody Mary, you'll know you need to have Tabasco, you need to have Worcestershire, and you need to have tomato. So we've got the sun-dried tomato, but we also put tomato paste in there, which kind of helps bind it all together. Unfortunately, there's no vodka that goes in this, but when we serve them, sometimes we'll actually spritz them with a little bit of vodka. So I'm going to throw in the tomato paste now. And the Tabasco, which is my favorite. And the Worcestershire. And if you want to make this actually a vegan dumpling, you can get sort of vegetarian or vegan version of a Worcestershire sauce, because traditionally it has anchovies in it. So you can do that, and that's what we do in some of our Bloody Mary dumplings. With a shared kitchen, there's pros and cons. Cons being, the equipment you need isn't always available, or when the kitchen's really crowded, it can sometimes be hard to get stuff done. Somebody, with all good intentions moves your stuff and then you can't find it. These things happen, when you're in a kitchen of, 15 plus people, it's what you can expect. But there's a lot of really great things that come out of it. One is just kind of the pollination that kind of happens with people in the kitchen. So you might have somebody who's making a hot sauce partner with somebody who's making chocolate or making chocolate cake, and then they'll fuse the two and come up with a spicy chocolate cake, stuff like that. So that's really great. And it's also nice because, you tend to piggyback off each other. So if somebody has a connection somewhere, at a restaurant, for example, they might say, hey, I'll drop some of your samples off at, place X. And, from that, you can then develop a contact as well. So it's nice. Everybody tries to kind of help each other out, which I think is really one of the best things about the kitchen. So the next chapter is we're really looking to build the wholesale and the retail side of the business. Our introduction to Markt was facilitated by Bart-Jan and Emma from Kitchen Republic. They got in touch with Markt and said, hey, we have a whole bunch of local producers that make really exciting food. Would you like to try some? And it's much, much more relaxed here. Professional, but relaxed. It's just like, okay, yeah, we love the dumplings. We want to have them. Get your packaging sorted and let us know when you do. I would say there were several moments where, it was kind of like, oh, we're going to be in Markt. And then it took a little longer with the packaging. Then it was like, oh, we're not there yet. And then we were there. So it's a lot of everything, when they say things take longer than you think they will, some things take even longer than you think they will, but better late than never, So we're super excited for that. We never in a million years thought that, within basically less than 2 years of being an actual live business that we would be on the store shelves of a major retailer.